I caught my wife cheating with our 19-year-old neighbor in our living room. I came home early from work, and what I saw made me feel like I'd been punched in the chest. My heart didn't just break. It shattered. And the craziest part? She didn't even try to deny it. I came home early from work that day. Just a normal Thursday. I was exhausted, wanted to surprise my wife with some takeout and maybe a little quality time. You know, small moments that matter after 10 years of marriage. I walk in the front door, quiet, like always. But the moment I stepped into the living room, something was off. Our living room light was on. TV was on mute. Couch pillows on the floor. And then I heard it. Not just voices moaning. I froze. I didn't even want to believe it at first. My brain literally couldn't process what my ears were hearing. I took a slow step forward, peeked around the corner, and there she was, my wife, on the couch, with our 19-year-old neighbor, Jake. They didn't see me. I stood there for a good 10 seconds, long enough to burn that image into my memory for the rest of my life. I dropped the food. The bag hit the floor loud enough for both of them to shoot up like kids caught skipping class. She screamed my name. Jake damn near fell over trying to pull up his pants. And all I could say was, "You're doing this? In our home?" Let me rewind a little. My wife, Lauren, and I had been married for almost 11 years. We met in our early 20s, worked our way up from a tiny apartment to owning a modest but beautiful home in the suburbs. We weren't perfect, but we were steady, solid, or so I thought. About a year ago, Jake and his mom moved into the house next door. Kid was quiet, respectful, mowed our lawn a few times when I was out of town. Nothing ever seemed off. Lauren would mention how sweet he was, that he reminded her of her little brother. She'd bake him cookies sometimes, joke about how lost the younger generation was. Nothing that made me raise an eyebrow. But then, I started noticing things. Jake was suddenly over more often, like way more often. She'd invite him in when I was at work. Said he was just bored and needed someone to talk to. One day I came home and found him fixing the garbage disposal. She said, "He offered. Isn't that sweet?" I brushed it off, but a feeling started growing in my gut, the kind of quiet alarm that doesn't stop ringing. And I wish I listened to it earlier. Things between Lauren and me started shifting. She became distant, less affectionate, started sleeping on the edge of the bed. I'd ask her what's wrong, and she'd just say, "I'm tired, always tired." She stopped initiating conversations, stopped laughing at my dumb jokes, stopped looking me in the eye when I kissed her goodbye. I told myself it was just stress. She lost her father recently, and I thought maybe she was still grieving. I tried to give her space, tried to be supportive, but in the background, Jake kept showing up. Then came the Thursday. I was supposed to have a late shift, but I swapped hours with a coworker to get off early and surprise her. I even picked up her favorite Chinese takeout. You know what happened when I got home? When she saw me standing there, she burst into tears. Jake looked like he wanted to disappear. I told him to get out. Just 2 words, "Leave. Now." He grabbed his shoes and bolted out the back door without saying a word. Lauren tried to come toward me. "Please let me explain," she kept saying. I couldn't even look at her. The woman I built my life with just betrayed me in the most pathetic, humiliating way. I asked her why. Just why. She said she felt invisible, that I was always working, that she missed feeling wanted. That Jake just listened, and it started harmless. She swore they only started sleeping together recently. I didn't even care about the timeline. The betrayal hit the same. She said she didn't plan to fall for him, that it just happened, that she thought she was going through a midlife crisis, that it was a mistake. But here's the thing, mistakes happen once. Affairs are choices, repeated choices. I didn't scream. I didn't throw anything. I just sat down. And then I told her, "You cheated with a kid who can't even legally buy a drink." There was nothing left to say after that. That night, I packed a bag and stayed at my brother's place. I told her I needed space to think, but in reality, I already knew what had to be done. 2 weeks later, I filed for divorce. She cried during the meeting, told the lawyer she still loved me, said she wanted to fix it. But love doesn't come with betrayal as a bonus feature. I found out later through one of our neighbors that this wasn't even the first time. Apparently, she had a thing for younger guys. Jake just happened to be the first one who got caught. Jake's mom was mortified. She came over and apologized to me in tears. I told her it wasn't her fault. I don't hate Jake. He was a dumb kid caught in something messy. But I'll never forget what it felt like to walk into my home, the place I felt safest, and see the woman I loved with someone else on our couch. It's been 9 months since that day. I've gone to therapy, got my own apartment, bought a dog, started painting again. And most importantly, I've learned this: when something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore the signs. Don't gaslight yourself. And don't let someone make you feel guilty for asking for honesty. Because trust, once it breaks, it never sounds the same again. And if you're listening to this thinking, damn, that could never happen to me, that's what I thought too, until it did.